Hi. We're here to play Final Fantasy, but I'm just gonna start by addressing the fact that I've been just listening to podcasts and everything. Rip Xbox. I know I don't do gaming news. I do not generally talk about politics, gaming politics, any of that. But it is so fucking wild to me that Phil Spencer's retiring Monday. Apparently, this has been in works for a year, and they're telling us on Friday that on Monday is going to be his last day. That is fucking insane. And Sarah Bond, who's been working to lead up Xbox, has quit. But don't worry, they already have 2 other people in line. Meaning, Microsoft never intended for Sarah Bond to get this position. It was always Phil and Sarah. They just came up with another solution and just ousted her essentially, and left it at that and went, yeah, this is what we're doing now. And fuck, I'm not even an Xbox fan, but I had respect for Phil. Instead, they're bringing this random chick who doesn't know gaming, who her first statement is to learn about the industry. She needs to learn about the industry still to take over leading Xbox. I am so sorry for any Xbox fans out there. I am sorry for your loss, because Xbox is fucked. Let's be real. Anyways, now that I ranted a little bit on that, because I listened to a podcast about that on the way home, usually my podcasts record today, and I post in the afternoon, I listen to them tomorrow. This is a bonus one that popped up that I was like, screw all the stuff I'm still catching up on today. I need to listen to this. I need to be informed, and obviously it has opinions. These are people I tend to agree with. I'm going to take some of their opinions, take it to heart, but in reality, they are also just reading the emails. The stuff I got off work half an hour late, came home, worked out, made dinner, and now I'm sitting to stream. So I haven't had time to sit down and read all this information myself. But yeah, that is just freaking wild. And I had to just acknowledge that before we started playing this game, because that's what's on my mind right now. Anyways, sorry about that little Xbox rant. We're not here. For the record, I don't own an Xbox. You can see my PlayStation in the background over there. At one point I told you guys, if you really want to see me stream a game and it was on Xbox Game Pass, I'd be willing to consider getting Xbox Game Pass to do those games. I don't think I'm willing to do that anymore. Not that I have time to stream more than one game at a time, and right now we're still going through the Final Fantasy series. But it makes me have no desire to really go out of my way to support Xbox at this point. Sure, I could do little things here and there, and I might still buy an Xbox published game. Most of them don't interest me, but maybe the reviews for Fable are really fucking good, and everyone tells me it'll be totally my shit, and I need to play it. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna play it. There's a chance I will. I'm not going on a complete boycott, but things like a monthly subscription service to Xbox at this point, I do not trust Xbox enough with reoccurring payments. We'll put it that way. A one-time buy of something I own, I might consider, but they're not getting my reoccurring payments for any of this, because I don't trust anything that's going on there anymore. Anyways, let's play some Final Fantasy. Last we left off, we were trying to get the people of Little Alamigo to trust us. I have pickups. Why have you returned? You're not welcome here. I thought I made that clear. You spoke with Meffred. Something just sounded like it disconnected. Everything seems to be going alright, so not gonna worry too much. Spoke with Meffred. It has been so long since I last heard from him. I had feared him dead. Twelves be praised. Whoever you are, Meffred sees you as a friend, and any friend of Meffred's is a friend of mine. I know of this masked stranger you seek. I'll tell you what I can. An outsider resembling your masked stranger has reportedly been appearing near Little Alamigo of late. What's more, it seems that some of our young bloods are meeting him in secret. No doubt you'll want to question them about their trysts, but they're not likely to yield the information readily to an outsider. Tell them I sent you, though. They may well feel obliged to talk. The masked man? No idea what you're talking about. I ain't done nothing wrong, so leave me be. Gundebold sent you? Listen. I told them it was a bad idea. All that tripe about believing the masked man and... you don't know anything about this. Why didn't you say so to start with? You can't throw the old bear's name around like that and expect me not to think I'm in for it. Squeak, 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 squeak. I'll be down there. What? Have I been meeting a masked man lately? Let's see. Nope, can't say I have. But I'll be sure to tell my friends you're looking for him. There's a Frenchman sulking about right suspicious like. But I have nothing to do with him. I know trouble when I see it, and that there trouble. Mark me words. You have indeed my suspicions about the masked man. That's most troubling. Whoever the young ones are scheming, it can lead to no good end. There's an anger inside them. I see it in their eyes. I have to know, for it once burned within me as well. Two decades ago, the same anger drove me and my brothers to rise against the the deep despot who ruled Alamigo. Naught would do but dispose him and usher in a revolution. Well, we got our revolution, all right. It cost us our freedom. Blinded by our hate, we didn't realize that we had been dancing the Empire's tune. By the time we did, it was too late. Alamigo had fallen. There are times when man must be patient. Now is such a time. Though the young ones know this not. Unless we intervene, they are like to commit a great folly. If you learn aught of their plans, I would thank you to bring word to me. Freya's watching me eat all eagerly. Hey, Adventure, done talking with the old bear? Got a message for you from Wilred. Lad's something of a leader among the young ones here. He's impressed that you won over Gundabald and wants a word with you. He says he'll be waiting over the craggy north of here. Alright. Why do I not? Sure, we'll go this way. Is that top floor, bottom floor that you got? I think it's top. Okay, so that is working. I just realized the spot we use to post when someone's streaming hasn't sent off any notifications yet. Thanks for coming, friend. 'Tis no ordinary outsider who can gain the trust of the old bear. That's why I wanted to meet you, to discuss something in private. Tell me, why are you snooping around? Did the Empire send you, or someone else? Carl got your tongue? No matter. Whoever it is you work for, your meddling ends here. Get her! Yeah, saw that one coming. I really don't want to kill these poor Alamegans. You're stronger than you look. This changes nothing. Threaten us, beat us bloody all you like. But nothing short of death can make us give up our fight. We're going to obtain the power to bring down the Empire. And with it, we'll reclaim our homeland. This kid has no idea what he's getting himself into. Bots online. Don't know why it's not working. Oh well. Hacked by Wilred and his cronies. Thought they would go to such lengths for the sake of this plan of theirs. Left to their own devices, the young fools are like to harm others, if not themselves. We must uncover their agenda and put an end to this madness. Wilred mentioned the power to bring down the Empire. Of what power could he be speaking? Gunbold! Bertaliana. Gods preserve, what happened? I was out foraging when the corpse brigade came. Took me to their hideout and they the whole while they laughed at me. They said I suffer because I cling to hope. Is it wrong to dream of home? Wrong to call ourselves Alamegans? Do not heed such poisonous notions, child. Our dreams are what sustain us. Be strong. I swear to you, those villains will answer for their crimes. In due time. But tell me, does anyone else know of this? Ed, he saw me outside. He was so angry. I must tend to Bertoliana. In the meantime, I needed to find out what the young ones make of this. I fear that they may do something rash. Alright. Oh, what the fuck? Why is that, huh. There we go. I don't know when I turned on display capture. What those animals did to Brutalia is unforgivable. And to think they look down on us. Well, I suffer this humiliation no more. I'm with Willred to the bitter end. I'm not afraid of a few lizards. If this plan succeeds, we'll have the power to lay the Empire low, to change the world for the better. Might be Gundabald, content to eke out this existence in this musty old cave, but I'm damned if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here. Now, where in the seven hells did I put my bloody map? Almighty Rolger, Lord of Destruction, we implore you, lead us your strength, or lend us your strength, and put an end to the suffering of your people. Here to interfere again? Well, you're too late. The plan is already in motion. Once we have the crystals, our enemies will pay for their crimes, and no one will dare oppress us ever again. Crystals? What are they trying to do? Summon a primal? Gone? The whole lot of them? Then it is as I feared. They mean to take matters into their own hand. But what exactly is it they mean to do? What is this? A hunting knife and a map of Zanrak? Wait, you said Willred spoke of crystals, did you not? But they couldn't possibly mean to. By the gods. This is rank madness. The young fools are untrained and unblooded. All. They have no notion of how dangerous the Amalja are. They'll be butchered before they get within 100 yalms of the crystals. They are headed east. If we hurry, we may yet find them before it's too late. Wilred. Did no others survive? This is all wrong. Getting the crystals was supposed to be the start. We're going to reclaim our homeland. We... Pull yourself together, lad. We're going to make an offering of crystals to Rulger to summon him. Just like the Asman taught us. We plotted to sneak into Xanarak and make off with the Lizardman's cash, but they caught us and so many dead. Gods forgive me. Heathens, you shall pay for your crimes with your souls. I regret our young one's transgressions, but a soul is too high a price for the youth's folly. For all their failings, they're the hope of the Alamegan people. This hope I will guard with my life. Freya, you're hearing things. Freya! Being very noisy, you know. Being very noisy, you know. Uh-huh, is that so? Is that all you have to say? Bunch of tempered? What the fuck are they doing here? The skills at arms is impressive, adventurer. Our wayward youth could learn much from a woman like you. The battle is won, but it would be unwise to linger here. Let us return to Little Alamigo. Wait, we've come all this way. We have to get the crystals. They're right there, right for the picking. Have you learned nothing, Wilred? Did you not see those tempered wretches? Such is the fate of those who are touched by a god. This is what you desire for yourself and your friends? What? No one said anything about... Maskman told us we could defeat the Empire if we summoned Rulger. He swore. Enough. We'll hear the rest of the story tale back at Little Alamigo. I dare say Aelin will wish to hear it as well. Almost did the same thing I did last time and just went to the path straight across that leads to nowhere. And Baby Ben's here. No more lies, Wilred. Tell us everything. I was outside with the others when he appeared, the masked stranger. He told us about summoning Rolger, about using crystals, and then he just vanished. We never saw him again. I wanted so desperately to believe that we could raise ourselves from this squalor. I never stopped to question his motives. But I should have known. There's no solution, nothing we can do to change our lot. Our people are doomed to live and die like beasts. Listen to me, Willard. Our home may be lost to us, but it takes more than stones and mortar to define who we are. No matter where we may be, Ala Mhigo lives within all of us. It is for you to decide what you make of his legacy. But whatever you choose to do with your life, never forget that you owe it to this adventurer, an outsider. I won't, I promise. Thank you for saving me. I'm sorry I tried to kill you. You better be sorry you tried to kill me. My thanks as well, friend. It gives us hope to know that there are kind souls such as you out there. Little Ala Mhigo may not have much in the way of comfort, but you're always welcome here. You know what? The fact that you're actually welcoming me here now is enough. I appreciate it, Willard. I worked hard to earn that trust. Not Willard. Gunvold. Excuse me, little one. Little one. What do you think you're barking at? What do you think you're barking at, little one? Giving me quite the looks. That we had more information to offer, but Willard told you, is the extent of our knowledge on the masked stranger. Left unchecked, this man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to this creature, for the sake of the young ones who died for his poisoned words. Hurry, return to the Waking Sands. Well, at least this time I'm not coming to Minfilia looking like Minfilia. Bankard, what are you doing way on a chair over here? Aelin. Pray do not concern yourself with my welfare. My current investigation had yields some curious results. And at present, I'm pondering how best to proceed. Welcome back, Aelin. I am reliably informed that the investigation took you to the quarry mill in Little Ala Mhigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Brea? Granted the knowledge of summoning an impressionable youth's minds, you say. Precisely the kind of deception an Ascian would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are brought about by a malign will. Malign, malign, malign. We must need delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work, no play makes Minfilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady! Ahem. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Alright, well. Sorry, Minfilia. We rested and I decided to dress up like you again. While you're tending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesies of our friends the Sylphs. An individual fitting Lahabrea's description has been sighted in the Northern Shroud. The sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the self-same area. My instinct tells me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. 12's willing. We'll pick up Lahabrea's trail once more. Neuraxia can furnish you with the details. Pray speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Aelin. Neuraxia is in the Waking Sands. Walking One is investigating Sinister One? Then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with the Walking Ones of the Ashcrown Consortium. According to a friendly one, a digging one named Medrad has an encounter with scary Masked One. This Masked One is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One Medrad. Digging One is to be found at Fallgourd Float in the Northern Shroud. Oh, interesting. I wonder if this gate is open to me. Mapping the realm, Northern Shroud. Look at that. It's amazing how long you can go before you have to go somewhere. I think on Kina, one of my alts, I realized way too late that I had never unlocked, like, attuned to Springford Farms or unlocked that entire area, just never traveled there because the game doesn't make you go there. Not unless you start in Lenosi, in which case, your class quest might get you to go there. Like, Kina was or is an astrologian and started as a conjurer. So we started in the Shroud. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I looked death in the face. It was only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. Yeah, this is how I see them standing on a table looking down. You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true. But that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was heading back to the float, when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman, one glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal and had come to claim her soul for his realm. What? You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Aye, anything to ensure we don't suffer Medra hysteria ever again. Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted to. Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventurer. There's the least I can do to repay her for comforting me. It's amazing how a few hush 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 nows can just change someone's perspective. Hush 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 now. Hush hush hush. Here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin towards are known as Ziz could inflict such wounds. That's why some folks are pointing fingers at them. I somehow doubt that the answer's that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures and see if you can find any proof connecting them to the deaths? I just saw, just out of the corner of my screen, Raren jump. So he could get outside first and summon the carriage. It's a glide. Blah, blah, blah. And off she goes. Alright, back we go. Hi, Aglaya. I can see her slowly going. I've already seen this is. Good work, adventure. So, were you able to find aught to suggest the creatures are a culprit? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. There's something you should know. I've been keeping to myself lest I worsen Medrod's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. Cannot say whether it was coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time at Medrod's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. I looked up and found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream on the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. There's something else I've heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been, comely maidens. I better watch myself, eh? And seemingly jape aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some whispers that after each victim died, her rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigation, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off the piece of the crag. This stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments and I'll give them a gander. Alright. In case Pogglai ever wants to join the ride. I need to stop riding in seat 1. Inlin always looked, I don't know, I just don't like how she's the entire way. Back to Falgord. A monstrous, Banamite appeared, and he slew it. The creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Falgord. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a winged eyeball I saw, or merely a trick of the light combined with blind panic? Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor. It has a name, but what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Huh? Why, these are your garden variety crystals. 'Tis a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire stick. Oh well. There's been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep, knowing that the killer's still at large. Judging by your brows, take it this Surrey business troubles you as much as it does me. I had been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt. It was a winged eyeball I witnessed. It's impossible that I could have mistaken such a distinct creature for a Banamite. But you and I were moments apart. How could we both have seen precisely the same thing? What's more, our adventurer friend here has a run-in with the Banamite at the very spot you claim to see a fiendish eyeball? Isn't that right? There must be explanation. I know, I saw the eyeball with the wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. Oh, he's serious. But listen, mayhap it is not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be. Gods, of course, there must be more than one of those buggers. Ugh, it's so obvious. But then, that means, since there have been repeat sightings of these fiends, then there must be more victims yet undiscovered. I do believe we're out of our depths. We ought to leave the rest to the experts. Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. Pleasure knowing you. Well, I burn to know the truth. Some things are best left unknown, lest you have forgotten. It was that rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Should you discover aught of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There is a guardhouse nearby. The Serpent there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. I appreciate the support. Did I actually turn here yet? Nope. That's a good thing to do. Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I might assist you with? Well, I mean, I just entered this area for the first time now. I went straight to the quest marker instead of to the Aetheryte. Gods be good. Not again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to the horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the Central Shroud. While the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any, sightings of winged eyeballs are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none of us can say. The victims all have been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them so as to notify their next of. This button, engraved with the lily motif, the very same object was found upon another victim. A family sigil, or that of an organization, perhaps? Either way, I dare to hope that we find a way to prove. Dare hope that this find will prove pivotal to solving the murders. I would have you hold on to this lily button. You'll need it to continue your investigation. Well, it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals. You have proven yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on with your work. If I might make a suggestion, you may wish to take the button to Gridania and have it examined by Mione. Mayhap someone with her vast network of contacts can shed light upon its sigil. Hey, baby bun, do you wanna fly to Gridania? I appreciate the ride. That's okay. It is somewhat amusing to me to see ads for back at Crystal Data Center over here on Dynamis. Like, don't you have your own RP venues? Why am I still getting ads for Crystal? Good evening to you, Aelin. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for scones and herb tea. I don't like the spawning Lolafels. Well, isn't this a lovely little button? Engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body? Lovely. Anyways, I'm afraid I do not recognize the lily sigil. You will have to find the answer the old-fashioned way, by asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Bernadette over in the Aethery Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. Need help tracking down the owner of a button? That's certainly not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then. Show me what you have. Seems to be some manner of decorative button, reminiscent of those worn by the families of old, though I cannot claim to know the sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridanian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil out of it. If there is a soul in Gridania who does, it would be Singold over at the Lancers Guild. Who makes a point of knowing the citizens on a forename basis? It believes that I can help you. Well, that's a rather bold assumption to make. I will try to assist, never you fear, but whether aught comes of it is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Fascinating. A work of this quality is rare, at least seen in the hands of ordinary Ghanaians. The owner of this button is certainly well-to-do. Many wish to take your search to the Gentry's ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Of late there's been a man who is perpetually seated at the bench by the ward's entrance. His name is Ursandel. I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. I love my two little shadows just like standing a few steps behind. I do not believe we are acquainted. Pray leave me to my thoughts. The sigil of the D'Artencourt's family. How is it that you came to in the possession of this button? From a body of a murdered woman. Her face, it was marred in... Her face, was it marred in any way? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal the truth of the death, but on one condition: you promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment. It's almost time for a dungeon. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Darkandors. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amaditine, mistress of the household. Fair as the summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting of her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget that day that her bandages were removed and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her regain what she had lost. So began the rite of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually, there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to the bed, and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task to obey, as bade, obedient service that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmares I had witnessed. So it was that I left Hawk Manor, my home, for nigh half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, long still for the woman Lady Amaditine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay your tormented soul to rest. As you swore to me you would, she awaits you at Hawk Manor, on the western edge of the Central Shroud. Now go. Go and do what must be done. Alright. So who's ready for a dungeon? Hoglai, I don't know if you want to summon any friends to join if anyone is around, but let me know if I should be waiting. Oh, there's Meowdymos. Okay. So we didn't have friends. Friday. Now the question is. Hawk Manor now accessible. Unfortunately, I can't walk up and lay anyone right now. I don't have ley lines yet. Oh, Puglia is coming. Meowdymos would have a fat cat, wouldn't he? There's Puglia. Red stew. I'm a scholar Askios. Sorry. Paul, you might have to interpret those. I know what button I'm supposed to press. Don't mind me thinking, carpet stain. Such riveting gameplay at level 31. Even lost my fire too. She can cast fire too. Why can't I cast fire too? Don't tell me it's because she's from the void. Look at all these rooms we could go into. I have a couple times seen someone unlock this door and somehow not aggro anything, and I still to this day don't know how that happened. Because the enemies like auto aggro the moment the door opens. I don't like whatever happened to this Jester and Steward. It concerns me greatly. I love that they now put a teleporter there because they knew everyone just used return anyways. They're like, fine, if you're not gonna run back through, we'll stop trying to get you to and just, here, have this so the newbies aren't lost. Well, her face is no longer mauled. So, something the masked man said worked. She's also no longer, like, human. But that's another matter entirely. I feel like La Habrea has a way of, convincing people the good of them without telling them the downside. feel like this boss is less BS than it used to be. Like, I haven't done this dungeon in a very long time. But I don't think there's gonna be any, like, darkness curtain things you have to light up while dealing with the ads. They're just kind of here. Yeah, definitely new mechanics since the last time I remember going through this. If you're a tank buster you can interrupt? That's wild. What do you mean you can interrupt the tank buster? The old version, I think, was more fun. There's a lot more to mess up, which, when you're at this point in the game and everyone's speedrunning shit, can lead to issues, but it definitely had more interesting shit to it. Yeah. I could see why duty support would also make it hard. Darkness has taken root within these halls, sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irresponsible spirit that quickened it to life. It's a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. There is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. Crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength the light is drawn. Eidolon chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, you came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength from Master Lahabrea. The task is now accomplished. We take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. Alright, back to Gridania. Yeah, this is that one gate that you have to do a quest to unlock or some shit. It's really weird. Probably use one of the crystals just to teleport to where I need to go, but who needs the Aethernet? You're returned. What sights await you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amadine? You must tell me all. So, she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are the same vile brute. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe that they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence, I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore, through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an abater to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Sorry, buddy. I know it couldn't have been easy, but glad you're making smart choices now. And it's time to do our favorite thing and try return to the Waking Sands. Welcome back, Aelin. Well, glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fares you on your sojourn in the Twelveswood? Two of La Habrea's minions? They sought to measure your strength. By their own admission? The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then, The Ascians have begun to move in earnest. With that we knew to what end. Yet I am not I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we're at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that the Scions are too few to protect the realm against the threat unaided. We must need alert the three nations of the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There's no shortage of misery in the world that the Ascians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all that we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside at present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you're ready to be briefed. I will summon the others. Nice, nice. I don't know if any of this is better. Nope. That's fine. $39, $39, $35. Alright.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan. Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlwyb hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept? Thank you.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola. Can we, Minfilia?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldesion, and Alphino if you would. Papalymo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward. Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Alright. I know I didn't start stream till 6. It's about 8. Do we start the Company of Hero quest line? Do we try to get to the next dungeon? Like, how long should we... The other thing is, I do have several class quests to do. So maybe I just go catch up on class quests and do Company of Heroes next week? Kind of sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Because, like, I feel like this is a very clear split in, like, what's happening now and what will be happening. So, if I can't finish this next section tonight, do I start the next section tonight? I don't know. Let me know your opinion as I start teleporting. I can't always just come back and continue what I'm supposed to be doing. Out of curiosity while I'm running around, do I have any class quests for Ninja right now? No. So just Paladin and Black Mage. Okay, Wizard, it is next. The Chrysosers have decided to gift with one more guess of your identities. Right now, I can guess now. Alright, let's see. Let's see. I need to see all of the Chrysosers I have on my friends list. Alright, so... That is fine. I'm gonna say Poglia is Eric. I am going to say that Meowdy most is C-Star. I am going to say that yeah, Vigorous is Lady Azura, and then Fine is Odin, maybe? That's my guesses for today. I'm confident on one of them. You have been there to call yourself a paladin, but how do others treat you? Do they recognize you for what you are? Out of my 4 guesses, 2 are correct. Okay, I need to take notes of this quickly. Sorry, guys. I insist on taking notes, lest I forget what is going on. Error guesses. Like, I think I am pretty confident on which 2 I have right. You know, now that I think about it more, I should have guessed the 2 I'm pretty sure are wrong. I should have guessed them in the opposite order. 'Cause, like, let's be real. Lady Azura has a type. And why wouldn't she be playing the character that is that type? Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a paladin. You must be just in your heart and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once, not so long ago, the Sultana Sworn could walk the streets without fear, with their heads held up. Walk the street without fear. What the fuck? I am adding words. Once not so long ago, the Sultana Sworn could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude. And no one was more respected than the captain. my predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised to take me to a local festival, but somewhere he took a wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. Luck was not with us because the next moment we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. Drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. It was only a matter of time before we could be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. I never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than my eyes could follow, and in a second the hunters were on the ground or fleeing for their lives. The captain was gone down the street, slicing at their heels before my father had time to thank him. Even today I can see the captain as he was then. Blood on his sword, armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I ever wanted was to be a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of the bandits defeated and monsters slain. Even after I became one of the Sultan's Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive at the training yard and the last to leave. And so the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named captain of the Sultan's Sworn. Yet, the triumph was hollow, because by then, the honor of the Sultan's Sworn elite, that very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood, was mere vestige like the discarded banner of a defeated foe. There were many reasons for the fall, but the loss of Oathkeeper, yes, that was a mortal blow. The sworn Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan's Sworn by the Sultan of Ul'dah. In time, it became our standard, the symbol of our oath that we had sworn, and it was treasured by each new captain for generations. Possession was proof of the Sultan's Sworn command. But then, the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by the traitor. It shook our brotherhood to its core. How can we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we cannot even hold the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished in the eyes of ruler and ruled alike. If the Sultan's Sworn are to survive, we must find the traitor and recover the Oathkeeper. But the Sultan's Sworn have grown too weak. We cannot do it ourselves. We've been forced to recruit outsiders to help us in our cause. I have high hopes for you, my friend. It is a great thing that we ask, and you must learn more of our secrets if you are to succeed. In Outer Lenosi, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where ringtails congregate. Put yourself against a host of beasts would be a fine way to hone your skills that I will teach you. In the grove you will find another brazier, this time filled with a potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy. Defeat your attackers and return to me. I'm not attuned to Outer Lenosi yet. Time to go for a fight! I can't fly. These guys are level 41. They're just a tad higher than me. Don't hit me, please. Leave this poor paladin alone. Didn't come here to participate in your fate. I love how out of everything in this area to kill, they're like, go find the passive lemurs and rile them up and then kill them. It's what we need to do as a paladin. I love how I have an audience to fight lemurs who are throwing fucking rocks at me. Excuse me, ma'am. Or sir. Need to return to Eldar, right? Yeah, so we're just gonna use a return. Sorry, guys. Also, unrelated to anything, but I'm drinking root beer cider right now, and it's fascinating. I don't dislike it at all. It's also, like, not super root beery, but it does have, sarsaparilla fruit in it. So, like, the, back end is you get that kind of, not sarsaparilla, sassafras. It was sassafras. It's made with infusion of sassafras root and wintergreen. And yeah, it's just this fascinating thing. Well done, you've taken the skills I taught you, made them your own. I still do not have word of where the traitor is hiding. I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. Got Shelteron, hell yeah. I feel like after level 30, they made the class quest quicker. There we go, I have a proper sword back on my paladin again. That feels nice. Since the black magic within you has grown stronger, Aelin, you have earned the right of my audience. I am pleased to see that you do not fear your newfound powers. But then, you adventurers were ever want to embrace the new. You are now ready to set forth on your journey to find the keys required to seal the Void Gate. Hear me well, for mine are a master's own words, and his are those of Naldal himself. The next key requires the blood of sacrifice. Travel to the Zagoli Desert in southern Thanalan, slay what fiends emerge from the planar fissure there, and slake the land's thirst with their bloodlife. Once drunk, its essence shall be borne away upon the aether veins of the earth, and thence serve to notify our friends of the wastelands in time has come. Complete the task before you, and the black magic testimony you carry will shine full with new light to envelop and absorb evil. Light to show you destruction and guide you to righteousness. This light is the key. Take it into you where it will forever burn bright. That is all. You'll understand and accept what you must do. So for the record, with today doing these class quests and not continuing story, next week my plan is going to be to not only start the Company of Heroes questline, I am going to make an effort to try to get through all of the Company of Heroes questline. I remember it once upon a time being fairly long, but I think they have shortened it to a manageable thing that can be its own, like, stream chunk. So that is probably my plan, which means this week's a slightly shorter stream, but next time I stream, it might go long as we're trying to finish that entire quest line. if we can. Which, not only... We'll see if we slay Titan, but at the very least it has one more dungeon in it. We will have to, at bare minimum, do, Brayflock's long stop. How dare you challenge me? That is a long fucking aggro range. Holy shit. Like, where are you when I need you? Okay, we're good. We survived. But that hurt. No, we haven't done. I almost forgot. Okay. After this, we still have to go check our cactpots. We don't want to forget that. And then we'll probably be done for the night. But cactpots are important. What is this? The Goldsmith? No, it's the Minor Guild. No? Did I just start one? Something like that. Hi, Meowdy Mouse. Continue practicing mastery at the arcane. You'll come to me once more when the dark arts is as much you as it is. Blah blah blah. Don't worry, it won't be long. Blizzard 3! Yeah, those are definitely going quicker than usual. Like, I say usual. It's definitely going quicker than, like, the last set of quests. That being said, like, we might get to 40 and it takes longer again, like, depending on the milestone. Ooh, Air Force One. Sorry, my friends, I'm gonna leave the party for a moment to go to Air Force One. Alright, there we go. Perfect run! Look at me go! They're expanding. This Fine Yan got here. Alright, time to go check my mini and jumbo jackpots and then return to the heirs. Hey! Grand prize! I see an Axis here, so I'll wait. Before I go check my jumbo jackpot. Or an Axel will run away. The fuck? An Axel is leaving us. desperate attempt to rein in Anaxa. What the fuck, dude? What world-shattering thing is he, where is it? Naxos, stop being a wallflower. Get your ass over here. Alright. So... da, da, da. Da, da, da. I just need to remember what I guessed before. Which I already guessed that. So that no, that doesn't make sense. Wait. I'm trying so hard. Well, the errors have been revealed, and that would have taken me way too long. Like, putting together that logic puzzle, and then the free company invite. Honor guard. Hume Cypher. Everyone's cats, and I make Cypher a human. That would be pretty funny. Cypher human. Oh, that is pretty funny. Yay, I get to be one of you guys now. If Bynun ever said by the by, then I would know exactly who it is. Because only one person I know actually uses that phrase on a regular basis. Ah, yes. Flame chasers. I also want to get the book on Aelin, so, probably sooner than rather than later. Yeah, because, rare not the PvPQ sucks. I get it. That's fine. I see my day already has his buck. My day looks so weirdly innocent clutching his book. Is it the dictionary of the Crumnoan language? My favorite part about this whole heir thing is that, well, not an heir in the same sense as this group. Aelin in her own right, in her namesake's right, I should say, is an heir. Poor Flame a participation. I don't know what my ninja's dressed like. There we go. Perfect. I can see when everyone comes and goes and logs online, which is also a really nice little thing to have. Finon has an invisible shield. Alright, now that people are starting to dip, I should go get my cat pots! Ren is just the mascot. You know what, we'll take the Bun Boy mascot. Baby Bun. My favorite part of that is just watching the Naxa appear, run the other way, and then be chased down. Alright, and with that, I think I'm going to log out from the Gold Saucer, so then next time when we come back to play, I won't forget to do my jackpots nearly. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I am very glad to see that my friends have invited me to their FC. That actually makes me quite happy. Anyways, I should be able to see you guys next week for more Final Fantasy, where we are going to try to play and complete the Company of Heroes questline, So look forward to that, because that's always an interesting quest line. And I think it doesn't get enough love. I'm not the only one who, I actually say this less than some people in my chat. I know there are some people who rock for this quest more than others. But I think once you actually read it and understand the point behind it, it makes a lot of sense. It might feel like it's slowing down the story a bit, but it makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna do that, and you're gonna see through my terrible voice acting why it makes a lot of sense. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. We will be back next week, but in the meantime, have a lovely night. Have a fantastic weekend now that we're doing this back on Final Fantasy Fridays. It's after the weekend. You guys can enjoy. I still have to work all weekend, but that's okay. And I will see you all next Friday for another Final Fantasy Friday as we continue playing through Final Fantasy XIV. Anyways, have a good night. Bye.